Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is Sammy and welcome to today's video. It is special because it is in collaboration with Tamara over at SouthernWife EverydayLife. She is a very near and dear friend to me and she has lots of great content over on her channel. So we decided we would collab for a Crocktober video since she's been doing them all month long, but this is my first one. So I have 4 recipes for you today and she'll also have 2 or 3, she might even have 4, but so you'll get lots of Crockpot recipes. I did share a couple of them already, and then 2 of them I haven't. So if you want lots of good Crockpot recipes, please stick around. And then when you're done watching my video, go check out Tamara's channel, show her some love and support. And I will have all of her information linked below in my description box. So make sure y'all go check her out. And how about we go cook? So let's go into the kitchen and make some yummy. Alright y'all, so first up is the Farmer's Market chicken and veggies. This is actually supposed to be a sheet pan meal, but I converted it into a crock pot meal. And I believe Tamara has already showed y'all she did the exact same thing. So, you know, great minds think alike. But this is all I needed for my sheet pan. I just had potatoes, onions, chicken, and then the seasoning packets. So that is all I used in this. So first you want to just spray your crock pot, you know, just to ensure nothing sticks and for easy cleanup. So I have tried the crock pot liners before, but I'm just not a huge fan of those. I've had a couple issues with them, but if you like using them, go for it. Your house, your rules. So anyways, to start out, I just put some butter in there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut up this onion to get it all ready. Leaving it in pretty decent sized chunks since it's going to be cooking all day while I am at work. So yes, this was done prior to me leaving for work that morning, and then by the time I got home at about 5 o'clock that evening, it was so good. My whole house smelled so good, and another reason why I love crock pot meals. So I have a layer of butter, a layer of the onions, and all I did was put a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom so nothing burnt and there was enough moisture, because y'all know chicken breast can dry out pretty easily. The next time I make this, I'm going to make it with chicken thighs. That way you'll have more moisture in there too. So I'm just going to go ahead and season my chicken with my good old Cavender's and Nature seasoning. Y'all know those are my 2 go-to seasonings for anything. And then I go ahead and sprinkle the first pack over top there. I do end up using both packs because I wanted to make sure it had enough and it was perfect. So after I got my chicken in there and the seasonings, I just go ahead and put in another layer of the onions and butter. And then I washed off my baby potatoes, golden and red, and I put those in there as well. And then I just make sure everything is even enough, and then that's when I go ahead and cut up just a little bit more butter. If you don't like butter, you don't have to use it, but we love butter over here. So if y'all are an oldie but a goodie, y'all know this by now. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we sprinkle the other packets of the seasoning mix on there. We put our lid on there and set the timer for 8 hours on low, and then mine automatically switches over to keep warm. So that's a nice thing about having the new digital one. And if y'all didn't know, I just got this crock pot not too long ago. So but anyways, I'm going to stop jibber jabbering and going to go ahead and let y'all finish watching this meal, and then I will bring you back when it is ready to be plated up. All right, so here it is after it's cooked all day long, and just take it out of the crock pot and put it on a plate and it's ready to go. It's, you know, one crock pot and done kind of meal. That's why it's, you know, basically a sheet pan meal, but done in a crock pot. So I did cook my green beans off to the side, but they were just canned green beans, Margaret Holmes, I believe. They are so good. But this was perfect for this night, and it was so good. So if y'all have been thinking about getting this seasoning and you've been putting it off, I highly, highly, highly recommend this seasoning. The only thing is I'm gonna switch for chicken breast, or chicken thighs. Let's go on to the next meal now. So for this one, we did beef tips and mashed potatoes. Oh gosh, this was so good too, and very simple. I love dump and go crock pot meals. So you will need your, I guess, like stew meat, or if you want any other kind of meat in particular, stew meat just works better for us. So of course you want to start by spraying your crock pot. I do go pretty good with mine as far as spraying it, because I really don't want anything to stick. And then here I'm just prepping my onion, and cut these up into just, you know, decent sized chunks too, because here yet again, this is before morning. And I'm going to go ahead and get that ready, put that in the crock pot, and then put my meat in there, and then I'll show you everything that I use. But it's beef consomme and cream of mushroom soup is what I do, and I put those soups together in a big bowl, mix it up, and then I pour it over top of everything after I have seasoned the meat. But yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all watch the steps from here on out, and I will bring you back when it's time to plate. All right, y'all, now here it is after it is cooked all day. I did go ahead and add mushrooms to this, and it cooked on low for about 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours, and then it kicked over to keep warm. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir that on up. And to go with this, we had the instant mashed potatoes. They're just the Idahoan in the little bags right there. You can see it, and they are the baby reds. They are my absolute favorite, but I just make them according to the directions on the back. And when they're all mixed up, I do add in a little bit of butter, and y'all can see I use heavy cream as well instead of just all water. Just makes them a little bit more creamier. And of course, my Cavender's and nature seasoning as well. And the only thing I do different once the potatoes have gotten in there and they've simmered for a little bit to let those chunks of the potatoes get tender again, is I just add a little bit of sour cream to it. These are so good. So trustworthy because it's all there. They're never going to fail you. Even though I prefer, you know, homemade mashed potatoes, but these work when you're in a time crunch or you want something quick and easy. So no shame in my game over here for instant mashed potatoes. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put this sour cream in here and stir them on up, and then I'm going to be ready to plate, y'all. All right, so here it is all plated up or bowled up. And all I did was sprinkle a little bit of freshly chopped green onions on top of there, and it was ready to go. We just ate it like this. I didn't make any rolls or anything, but you could. But these were so good, and the meat was so tender. So if you're looking for another good meal, give this one a try. Alright, so the third crockpot meal is what I like to call B's crockpot chicken, and then I made green beans on the side. So to start out, I just put some chicken breast in a marinade. It's the Walmart version, like the Great Value chicken and herb, or garlic and herb, Lord of mercy, chicken and herb. But anyways, I put that in a bag to marinate, and then you need cream cheese, a packet of ranch dressing, some cream of onion soup, minced garlic, and chicken broth, and that's all you need to make this mixture to pour over your chicken. So of course, spray your crock pot. Make sure you get it all coated too, because this did tend to stick a little bit to the sides. If I hadn't sprayed it, it probably would have been a nightmare to get out. But anyways, I sprayed my crock pot, and I'm going to go ahead and align my chicken at the bottom. I just used 5 chicken breasts for this, so that's all you'll need. And then in this bowl right here, you're going to take your cream of onion soup, or you can use, cream of whatever, but the onion worked better for us. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Put your the whole packet of ranch dressing mix in there as well, and then just 1 cup of chicken broth in there. I eyeballed it, of course, me and my measurements. But then I just whisked all that together, and then I pour that over the chicken in the crock pot. You'll see that here in just a second. I'm going to bring my crock pot back over first because I didn't want to be stretching y'all. So I did put a pat of butter on each chicken breast too, and then that's when I added the mixture over top of it. And then you put the lid on it and let it cook pretty much all day. This one I did do on a weekend though, so I was home with it. But I cooked it on low for about 8 to 9 hours, and then when it was ready, all I did was, sorry guys, getting ahead of myself. You do want to lay that block of cream cheese on top before you put the lid on it. That way it can have time to get all melty too, and it's easier to incorporate that way. But I cooked this on low for 8 hours, like I was saying, and now with the magic of editing and time lapse, it's done. But you just go ahead and shred it up, and I just used my little hamburger, whatever, shredder, mixer, upper thing here. It shredded it pretty easily, and all I did with this, once it was done, I just, like I said, went ahead and scraped down my sides right here so it wouldn't be so much of a mess later. But my friend told me to layer it with Colby Jack or shredded cheddar, whatever you have, and then you take some bacon bits, or you can fry your own bacon, however you want to do it. Crumble that up, and you want to put that on top as well. You put your lid back on it and let that get all good and melty, and then when it comes time to serve it, we just served ours over rice and had some green beans on the side, and then to top it off, I sprinkled some green onions. So you're getting ready to see that here in just a second. But this was, once it was done, this stuff was so good, so good. It reminded me a lot of like the Crockpot crack chicken casserole or whatever you want to call it, but this was really good. Just a little bit different because of the cream of onion soup. But anyways, this is how we served it, and it was very good. So I'll definitely be making this one again. So if you want yet another easy recipe, go ahead and try this one out. You won't regret it, promise. course, last but not least is my easy potato soup in the crock pot. This couldn't get any easier because, I mean, everything is either freezer or shelf items. So you see here I have these shredded hash browns, some cheddar cheese soup, some cream of chicken soup, and then a can of the cream of onion. You will need a block of cream cheese and some chicken broth. So that is all you need for this recipe, and of course your crock pot. So start out by spraying your crock pot. And then in a bowl off to the side over there, you can kind of see it a little bit right there, but I like to put the hash browns in first. This is just how I prefer to do it. I mean, you can do it in any order you want to, because it is a dump and go. So, and then I take all of my soups and I mix it in a bowl together, stir it up. That way everything is mixed up well. And then I pour it over top of the hash browns. And then that is when, after that, you want to take your chicken broth and dump in 1 to 2 full containers of that chicken broth. It just depends on how soupy you want it, or if you want it thicker. You do need to season this because, you know, you've got plain potatoes in the bottom, so I just used nature seasoning and Cavender's, of course. And then here you see me dumping in, I think this box was used, I think I had probably a half a box left in there. And then I dumped another whole box on top of that. So probably about 1.5 boxes to 2 boxes. I don't know. I think they were the 32 ounce or the 24 ounce. I can't remember, y'all. But it's the normal size Great Value brand. But once you have your chicken broth in there, you just want to give it a good old stir. And then once that is in there, you lay your block of cream cheese on top of it. You put your lid on it and you literally forget about it until about 8 to 10 hours, however long you want to cook it. I started this in that morning. It was a weekend as well. So this was just done. Basically, you set it and forget it. And then you go on with your day and do whatever. But this is so simple. And then when it is done, we topped ours with green onions and some cheese and some bacon bits, of course. And then my husband eats his with saltine crackers crunched up in it. So what all toppings do you all put in your soup, or how do you make your potato soup? I know I've asked this, you know, when I had this as a separate video, but I've always been curious how people eat soups, or what all they like to put in their potato soup when they make it. But if you're looking for a quick and easy way to make potato soup, please give this a try. It is so good, and it's very filling, and it's enough for about 2 to 3 nights. And then it's also, you can freeze this too once you're done if you want to go ahead and freeze it. It's perfectly fine. I've done it several times. That way you don't have no waste. I am a no waste girl. I don't like to waste any kind of food. So anyways, y'all, I'm gonna stop jibber jabbering like I've said before, because I tend to do that. So I will bring you back when this is all done, and that way you can see how I go ahead and bowl mine up instead of plate, because you can't put it in a plate because it's a soup. Yeah. So when it is done, I will bring you back and show you what it looks like. So the soup has cooked pretty much all day at this point in time, so I'm going to go ahead and stir it. That way you can see like the texture of it. Oh, it is so creamy and so good, and it just warms your soul. Something about a good old thing of potato soup, you know, on a cold or cool fall day. There's just nothing like it. It's so good. I love fall and I love soup season, and I don't know, this was just so good. But here is my bowl all plated up, and if you're looking for a good potato soup recipe, y'all go ahead and give this one a try. But I really appreciate you all coming back and watching another video of mine, and thank you for watching my very first ever Crocktober. So when you are done with my video, don't forget to go check out Tamara's channel. I will have her channel linked in my description box below. I know you all will love her. She is fantabulous. So, but anyways, I thank you all, and until next time, God bless. Bye.